Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making potato pancakes, and I don't know why I picked this exact recipe. Something about it called to me. So I went with that, and then for the video, I'm like, oh, well, let me look up some like potato pancake facts, because in this recipe, it does make a comment on like, oh, like in Ukraine, we traditionally do it this way. So I was like, oh, it's a Ukrainian dish. And then when I looked into it, all I could find was information on like latkes, which is almost the same recipe, but it has a few more ingredients. And that's a traditional like Jewish dish made for Hanukkah. Both of them effectively seem like the exact same product, just latkes will have baking powder, sometimes milk, and matzah meal. I think that was the other ingredient. So we're effectively making that kind of same thing. I guess maybe there's just like a slight twist on it. But I'm excited for that. And I was also excited because I had this brilliant idea of like, oh, I'm gonna make a ton of pancake related videos back to back. Like we're just gonna see like how long we can get this pancake theme going for, because obviously we did the German pancakes last week. So I'm like, easy, like I can think of like 15 pancake varieties off the top of my head, no sweat. And then yesterday, because I was writing my grocery list, I was like, oh, well, like what is my next video gonna be? Because I'm gonna buy the groceries for that. And that's when it hit me. I don't know any other pancake thing beyond, which is what the next video is gonna be, crepes. So I'm gonna try and make crepes next, which that might be a bit of a train wreck, because crepes, they have to be very thin, so they're kind of finicky, and you typically need a crepe pan for it. And I think there's even like a little tool to like smooth out. I'm not gonna buy any of that. I'm just gonna try and make it with what I have. So it might be a good lesson of don't do these things, but we're gonna see how that goes. But that being said, if you have pancake themed recipes, send them my way, because I can't think of any other ones. And when I briefly did some Googling, all it was bringing up were like more pancake flavors, where it was like, oh, here's how to make blueberry pancakes or chocolate chip pancakes or banana pancakes. And I'm like, that's not what I need. I need something that's fundamentally different in each variation, but effectively smushed thin batter. But that is a future Aaron problem, not a today Aaron problem. Today Aaron is gonna make some potato pancakes, and they're gonna be delicious. So why don't we stop rambling, run through those ingredients, and then get into cooking. Potatoes, an onion, eggs, flour, salt, and pepper. First things first, we need to kind of prep the potatoes and the onions. So we're just gonna peel them and kind of dice them up, because spoiler alert, we're using a food processor, so we don't really need to break them down too much, just kind of get them into manageable chunks. Now we just take those potatoes and the onion, put it in the food processor, and process, I guess that's the verb to use, a food processor, until the recipe says it looks grated, which you could also grate it by hand if you want. Or also, I have a attachment to my food processor to grate things, but it doesn't say to use that. So I'm just gonna use the blades and see what happens. Maybe in the future I'll try hand grating and grating with the food processor, see if that does anything different. The next step is probably going to be the hardest step, because we need to now take the potatoes and onion mix thing that we have and get as much of the liquid out of it. So you can, a few ways that you can go about doing that. Like if you have like a strainer, you can probably just like press it into that and hope the liquid kind of comes out. Or you can use like a dish towel. Probably your best bet would be cheesecloth because it's a bit more porous. But I don't think I have any of that. I'm gonna have to do a quick check. But I'm probably gonna go with the towel methodology just because that seems simpler than the strainer. That just seems messy. But to each their own, you do it however you want. And if your way seems easier than my way, let me know so that I can be more efficient in the future. And now we put the deliquided, that's a word, potato and onion mix into a bowl, and then we add in the eggs, flour, salt and pepper. Not a whole lot, but I mean, I guess conceivably, if you want to add more like spices and stuff like that, this would be the step to do it. I'm just gonna follow the brief as it is the first time, and then if I make it again in the future, this will be probably the step to like add some fun stuff. So we're gonna do that, and then we're pretty close to being done. The final step is now going to be to cook the potato pancakes. So that's just take I'm gonna use my cast iron skillet, put a little bit of vegetable oil in there, heat it at medium, and then we're going to put a spoonful of the potato pancake mix and then flatten it out a little bit. Let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. You wanna go for golden brown, crispy, obviously, and then flip, rinse and repeat. Take it out of the pan and probably put it on some paper towel so it absorbs any excess oil. All right, so here we have it. They are smelling fantastic, and I am excited to try these. Now, the recipe does say that traditionally in Ukraine, which I'm guessing is where the author of this recipe is from, that they serve it with sour cream. However, they can also be served with applesauce or with yogurt. Now, the yogurt I have is vanilla yogurt, and I'm assuming they probably mean plain yogurt, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll be tasty, because I mean, applesauce is kind of sweet, so vanilla yogurt might be in that same kind of zone. So I'm excited to give these a go. Why don't we put toppings on them and then start tasting? I probably should get a fork, but we're just gonna, because these are fairly sturdy, so we're just gonna pick them up and hold it by hand. All right, we're gonna try the applesauce one first, and let's see how that goes. All right, now let's try the yogurt. And finally, the sour cream. I mean, I didn't make a prediction beforehand, but I probably should have seen it coming. The sour cream one, by far the best. The other two, I don't know, I'm just not, I guess, a fan of this kind of sweetness with that. And the applesauce that I got is organic, unsweetened applesauce. So it doesn't have a whole strong applesauce kind of flavor to it. So that might have been the reason there for it not being the victor. But I mean, sour cream and potatoes, I feel is just match made in heaven. You got baked potatoes. I put sour cream in my mashed potatoes. They just go well together. In my opinion, that is the best one. But I mean, obviously you at home can easily make this pretty simple recipe and you can taste them all and see which one you like the most. Now, this recipe does make, I don't know if I can't remember if it said like an exact number, but I got 8 or 9 pancakes out of this. Nope. 12. I can't count. There's 9 there, but I forgot the 3 here. So it's 12. And the recipe does say that you can let them kind of cool off, put them in the freezer, and then reheat them in the oven. But they're obviously going to be best fresh. So I'm going to see, it's just 4 potatoes. I probably can eat all of these. We're going to see if I can eat all of them. And then I will report back how that goes. If not, I will give the reheating a go. But I think I can eat 4 potatoes. That should be fine. This recipe is another one of those kind of like blank canvasy things. Like while tasting them, in the back of my head, I was like, ooh, in the kind of seasoning step, putting in some like Old Bay probably be really good. Maybe some like thyme. I feel like adding some more spices to this mix would be a great move. So I recommend kind of playing around with this and seeing what you create. Like good blank canvas, just add stuff to it. Ooh, also some cheese on top. That would probably be really good. Effectively just make a baked potato, but flat. I think that's what I'm mentally getting at. And that sounds fantastic. I kind of want to go do that now. So without further ado, I'm going to skedaddle and try and eat a whole bunch of potatoes. And on that note, bye Mom, still not dead. See ya.